Honey, when I tell you guys that Beyonce and Jay-Z, that relationship is already gone and over. Behind the scenes, it's done for. But they are trying to keep up a front. And let me tell y'all who is trying to do this. Jay-Z. Jay-Z needs Beyonce. This court situation is going on with him and Diddy. He needs Beyonce to stay by his side. So he is trying to do whatever he can to threaten Beyonce behind the scenes. Beyonce, she feels like, hey, people don't know the dirt that she in. So she wants to get away from this situation, but she don't want them Jay-Z problems. So it is a crazy, but this video, it tells everything. Y'all got to watch this video in its entirety. This video changes everything. This video is giving us the signs, the red flags that Beyonce and Jay-Z relationship, their marriage was nothing but a hoax. It was nothing but a celebrity marriage, a Hollywood marriage to push agenda, money, and the Hollywood stuff. Y'all got to see this. Watch this for yourself. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot.
Major red flags in Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship. Jay-Z got caught up with a serious claim and has been linked to Diddy.
Jay-Z is accused of 13-year-old girl.
And a federal judge has ruled the woman alleging she was Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous.
Things got super messy for Jay-Z and Beyoncé at the end of 2024. In December, Jay-Z was accused of doing things to someone very young that he shouldn't have done. This came up in a lawsuit that was first filed against Sean Diddy Combs, but now they've added Jay-Z to it. Jay-Z totally denies it. Beyoncé hasn't said anything about it yet, but Jay-Z is already talking about how this is affecting their kids. He told E! News, "The worst part is what this is doing to my family. My wife and I have to explain this to our kids. And one of them is old enough that her friends will see this in the news and ask her about it. We have to explain how mean and greedy some people can be. Since this is a civil case, if Jay-Z loses, he'll probably just have to pay some money. But if he eventually gets charged according to uncivil laws and gets locked up, that could be a huge problem for him and Beyoncé. Lots of couples get divorced when one person goes to prison. For now, though, it looks like Beyoncé is sticking by him. Beyoncé also gets protective of her man. Considering Jay-Z's past, it's no surprise that Beyoncé keeps an eye on how he acts around other women. Apparently, she can get a little jealous if anyone gets too close to her husband. Remember that story Tiffany Haddish told back in 2018? She saw Beyoncé get jealous firsthand. Haddish was talking to Jay-Z at a party when another actress came up and touched his chest. Beyoncé walked over and gave her a look that said, "Back off, girl." It seems like Beyoncé might have chilled out a bit since then, but she's still not gonna let anyone disrespect her or her husband. On her 2024 country album, she even covered Dolly Parton's Jolene and changed the lyrics to be about women trying to get with Jay-Z. She sings, "You're beautiful beyond compare. Takes more than beauty and seductive stares to come between a family and a happy man. You don't want no heat with me, Jolene." A little jealousy can be normal, but hopefully it doesn't become a big problem for Beyoncé. Jay-Z and Beyoncé's age gap raises eyebrows. Lots of couples have age differences, and it works out fine for them. But sometimes the age gap can be a bit iffy, especially when one person was really young when they first got together. Jay-Z and Beyoncé first met when Beyoncé was only 18. They say they were just friends for a while, but Jay-Z is 11 years older, meaning he was in his early 30s. That's a pretty big age difference. And because Beyoncé was so young when they started dating, some people think Jay-Z might have been grooming her. There's also this video of Beyoncé toasting Jay-Z on his birthday back in 2006. They weren't married yet, but they'd been together for a while. Beyoncé was 25 and Jay-Z was turning 37. In the video, she says, "You've taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating. You taught me how to be a woman. You taught me how to live. You taught me how to be a friend." Some people found that kind of creepy. especially the part about Jay-Z teaching her how to be a woman. They think it suggests their relationship might be messed up because of grooming. Beyoncé's hustle has caused some issues. Okay, so Beyoncé is a total boss, and no one can deny she's worked super hard to get where she is. But sometimes it seems like her dedication to her career has caused problems in her relationship with Jay-Z. Back in 2006, Jay-Z released a song called Lost Ones, with lyrics that seem to be about Beyoncé. I don't think it's meant to be, but she loves her work more than she does me. And honestly, at 23, I would probably love my work more than I did she. Jay-Z later said the lyrics were about Beyoncé, but people might have gotten the wrong idea about them. Beyoncé has talked about her work ethic too. In a 2024 interview, she said that her intense focus on work affected everyone in her life. She admitted to pushing herself too hard to meet deadlines and not taking time to enjoy life. While she didn't say exactly how this affected her relationships, it could be a hint that it put a strain on things with Jay-Z, especially considering his song lyrics. The good news is that Beyoncé seems to have a better work-life balance these days. She said, "I have worked harder than anyone I know, and now I work smarter." So hopefully, things are smoother now between her and Jay-Z. Major red flags in Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship, Part 2. Jay-Z and Beyoncé have 3 kids, Blue Ivy, Rumi, and Sir, but there were rumors that their relationship was on the rocks, and they only stayed together because of Blue Ivy. Back in 2017, a source told People magazine, if it wasn't for Blue Ivy, they might not be together. It was really tough for them to stay married. It took Beyoncé a long time to trust Jay-Z again. She was struggling to move on and forgive, but keeping her family together was super important to her. Apparently, having the twins helped their relationship too. Sources say that Jay-Z and Beyoncé had trouble getting pregnant again after Blue Ivy, and that caused some tension between them. But when Beyoncé found out she was having twins, things got better. A source told Life and Style magazine, everyone working with them felt like you could cut the tension with a knife. The pregnancy totally renewed their relationship. Now, Blue Ivy is getting older, and her brother and sister aren't far behind. It seems like having kids has brought more happiness to Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship. But let's be real, having kids just to save a marriage isn't a good idea. Lots of couples think a baby will fix their problems, but usually it just makes things worse. Beyoncé spilled the tea on Lemonade. For years, people whispered about Jay-Z cheating on Beyoncé. There were rumors in the 2000s about him and Rihanna, who he helped out at the beginning of her career. Then, in 2014, Beyoncé changed the lyrics to her song Resentment during a concert, which made everyone think something was up. But in 2016, Beyoncé dropped her album Lemonade, and it was basically a tell-all about Jay-Z's infidelity. The most famous line was from Sorry, "He better call Becky with the good hair." People still gossip about who Becky is, but honestly, that line was nothing compared to some of the other stuff Beyoncé sang about. In Sorry, she also said, "Looking at my watch, he should have been home. Today, I regret the night I put that ring on," which makes it sound like she regretted marrying him. And in Love Drought, she sang, "Are you aware you're my lifeline? Are you trying to kill me? If I wasn't me, would you still feel me? Like on my worst day? Or am I not thirsty enough?" You can really hear the pain in her voice. It's obvious from the lyrics that Jay-Z's cheating really hurt Beyoncé and their relationship. Jay-Z comes clean. A year after Beyoncé's Lemonade dropped, Jay-Z released his own album, 444, and he basically confirmed he cheated on Beyoncé. In the title track, he rapped, "Look, I apologize, often womanize. Took for my child to be born to see through a woman's eyes." It was a pretty powerful moment on the album. Later that year, Jay-Z straight up admitted to cheating in an interview. He said that he'd been hurt in the past, and that led him to make bad choices. He explained that he shut down his emotions to cope, and that made it hard for him to connect with anyone, including Beyoncé. He said that seeing the pain he caused her was the hardest thing to deal with. Beyoncé's lyrics on Lemonade made it clear that she wouldn't put up with any more cheating, and she'd be watching him closely. And she has every right to be cautious. Studies show that people who cheat are more likely to do it again. Hopefully, Jay-Z learned his lesson and is serious about staying faithful to Beyoncé. Close calls and fighting for love. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are super private people. They don't do a lot of interviews, and Beyoncé especially keeps to herself. But sources have said that their marriage has been close to ending in the past. Apparently, when they were getting ready for their On the Run tour in 2014, things were rough. A source told Page Six they were trying to figure out how to split up without actually getting divorced. They weren't even wearing their rings. Jay was doing his own thing, and Bey was doing hers. We might never know how close they really were to divorce, but Jay-Z has admitted that they had to work hard to stay together. He said on The Van Jones Show that they could have ignored their problems or faced them head-on. They chose to fight for their love and their family, to give their kids a better example and break the cycle of broken relationships. Jay-Z also made it clear how much Beyoncé means to him. He called her his soulmate and the person he loves. It sounds like they're both committed to making their marriage work.
He will stand by Jay-Z despite allegations against him.
Beyoncé has been left upset and concerned after a judge chose not to throw out rape claims filed against her husband.
Superstar Beyoncé is reportedly standing by her husband, Jay-Z, amid shocking rape allegations.
Sources have said that Beyoncé was heartbroken after hearing the age of the girl making accusations against Jay-Z. She's decided, regardless of this, she'll be sticking by her husband just like she did when he stepped out on their marriage before.
Just to have someone that you just like, you know?
So you might be wondering how old the girl was when this incident happened. She was just 13 years old.
A Jane Doe in a lawsuit says the assault happened at an after-party.
After several attempts through Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, to get rid of the case or force the woman to be publicly identified, Judge Annalisa Torres sided with the girl, granting the woman anonymity for the next stage of proceedings. A source revealed although Beyoncé is heartbroken about all of this, she said the only thing she can do is stay by her man's side. She also believes that it never happened.
You know, we were friends first, and that foundation is so important in a relationship.
But she's concerned because the accuser is actually the same age as her daughter, Blue Ivy. I'm going to read you guys the statement that the source said. She 1000% believes him, but it is very messed up to deal with, not only because everything is in the public eye, but as a mother of a daughter at a similar age to the accuser at the time, it is heartbreaking. Beyoncé, who's been blessed with a life where she usually has control of her own narrative, now has to deal with this. And there isn't anything she can do except support her man, be there for each other as the legal side of things go through its motions. The insider added that Beyoncé has accepted that there isn't much she can do to help right now. Her husband is seen by the world in a very negative light. They continue to say it is a lot to deal with, and for her to try to think on ways to help the situation is tiring, especially when she can only literally do a certain amount of things that may sway the public's perception. She will be by Jay-Z's side throughout, and she's really starting to accept that that's all she can really do. They noted that she's keen to get back to her normal life as soon as possible, saying that she's praying that this will all be over soon and isn't dragged out. Everyone wants to get back to their life and everyone wants to be happy. A second source noted that the case had caused a lot of emotional dismay for Beyoncé. They explained while at first she was going to go into overdrive to try and show what a good man her husband is, she has now decided to take a different approach. She knows that she must let this play out and not try to get involved anymore because it really does not involve her at all, they stated. So because of the nature of what happened, I have to change the wording of what happened. But some of the things that came up, I'm not allowed to mention, but the accuser was only 13 years old at the time of the alleged incident. Now she's being referred to as Jane Doe. It happened at a 2000 MTV Music Video Awards after party in New York. She was first approached by Diddy, and then the incident happened with both of them. Obviously, Jay-Z is denying these claims, but his denies are kind of sus because his lawyer has said that him and Diddy were never even friends and there's no friendship there. And it's public knowledge that this isn't true. So if you're starting your defense off with lies, it's obviously not a great defense. The woman, who was only 13 years old at the time, was pretty much tricked into going into this party, allegedly. She was given things to alter her state of mind, allegedly, and then the unthinkable happened with Diddy, Jay-Z, and a female celebrity was watching. She was allegedly completely taken advantage of. Also, I'm not sure if you guys know of Tony Busby, but he is one of the coolest lawyers around. Saying his name literally gives me goosebumps because he's so passionate about helping people who deserve it get justice. Anyway, Tony Busby is Jane Doe's lawyer. Tony's lawsuit against Jay-Z is part of a series of civil cases he filed against Diddy, who remains jailed in New York as he awaits trial on the crazy federal charges that we all know about. Jay-Z said the lawsuit against him is part of an extortion attempt, and then spoke about how Tony tried to blackmail him. I mean, after Jay-Z said he wasn't friends with Diddy at all, there's no friendship. I don't really believe anything he says, personally. This is what Jay-Z had to say about Tony Busby. He said, "I have no idea how you have come to be such a bad human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity." The awesome Tony Busby, a well-known name in Texas courtrooms who has won billions of dollars in settlements for his clients, has said his firm is representing more than 150 people, both men and women, who have had things happen to them by Diddy. Busby's firm, which is set up at 1-800 for accusers, has alleged that many of the people he represents were taken advantage of at parties in New York, California, Florida, where individuals were given things to alter their state of mind and then taken advantage of. Diddy's lawyers have dismissed Busby's lawsuits as shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them. In the lawsuit against Jay-Z, Tony claimed he tried to mess with him and his client over the incident said to have happened at a 2000 VMAs after party, but this has backfired by emboldening them to take the case to court. Tony also said he is very proud of his client's resolve. He also said instead of talking to the media about it, they're going to take it to court and let the filings speak for themselves. He also said that they won't get bogged down in a silly slideshow and try to make the lawyers focus on what are very serious allegations brought by a very courageous woman. So, to distract herself from the mess of everything, Beyoncé had a Christmas performance for the NFL. A separate insider explained that Beyoncé was able to use the high-profile performance to take her mind off of her personal life and to remind people that she's still the best performer in music today, at least in her own mind. The source continued to say, one major and wonderful turnout from her performance was that it gave her some time to not worry about anything that Jay is going through with the lawsuit. She was so consumed with her performance, so concerned with Blue Ivy, and so consumed with all the details of the performance that it took away any thoughts of the mess that they will be dealing with as a family over the next few months. They continued. With all of
You know, it's difficult because I had to really learn how to have boundaries.
Strict rules Beyoncé makes Jay-Z follow to fix their marriage. Number 1, Jay-Z discussed couples therapy on The Letterman Show. In 2018, Jay-Z candidly addressed his infidelity during an appearance on My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
I have a beautiful wife who's understanding and knew that I'm not the worst of what I've done.
He provided insight into how he and Beyoncé navigated through the controversy, emphasizing their commitment to couples therapy and the necessary hard work to maintain the vitality of their union. Much like you, I have a beautiful wife who was understanding and who knew I'm not the worst of what I've done.
Like, we did the hard work of going to therapy and we love each other, right? So we really put in the work.
Number 2, Jay-Z was banned from touching other women. As reported by Capital Extra, an incident involving an anonymous actress getting uncomfortably close to Jay-Z was revealed by Tiffany Haddish. Haddish, who was present at an after party following one of Jay-Z's performances, had conversations with the rapper and this unidentified woman. It was during this event that Beyoncé felt the need to intervene due to the woman's infringement of her husband's personal territory. I was talking to Jay-Z for a little bit and there was another actress that was there who was also talking to him. She touched Jay-Z's chest and Beyoncé came walking up all serious, Haddish revealed.
And there was another actress that was there. She touched Jay-Z's chest and Beyonce came walking up like, but she didn't say that.
Haddish said Beyonce's demeanor and how she walked up, she had the attitude of, get your hands off my man's chest. Is Beyonce possessive? Number 3, no working with Rihanna. An insider exclusively told Hollywood Life Beyonce might have had a disagreement with Rihanna back in 2016, which allegedly hindered potential collaborations between Jay-Z and the fellow artist. Rihanna is a person she's suspicious of. There have been so many rumors over the years about her and Jay, it's hard to know what to believe, the source said. Jay-Z launched Rihanna to stardom by signing her to his label and features on some of her biggest hits such as Umbrella and Run This Town. So it seems Jay-Z and Rihanna can collaborate, but Beyoncé may need to keep an eye on her man while they work together.
Whirling around Rihanna and Jay-Z. It's a wild twist that's got everyone talking.
This happened to me, and it can happen to anybody.
Number 4, Jay-Z had to fix his relationship with Solange. In 2014, post a Met Gala party, a dramatic incident took place in an elevator involving Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Solange. Solange attacked Jay-Z physically, prompting intervention from a security guard and Beyoncé herself. According to a report by People, the altercation was provoked by a dispute between Solange and designer Rachel Roy, who is allegedly romantically involved with Jay-Z. As the evening unfolded, Jay-Z supposedly made an inappropriate comment to Beyoncé, leading to Solange's outburst. Despite Solange stating that everything was fine 2 months later, Beyoncé subtly referenced the elevator incident in a remix of her song Lawless. It's diamond, my diamond. In the remix, Beyoncé included a line saying, "Of course sometimes shit goes down when there's $1 billion on an elevator," which was widely interpreted as a nod to the incident. At number 5, Beyoncé wanted Jay-Z to distance himself from Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. While Jay-Z and Kanye were close, it was reported Beyoncé and Kim were distanced from one another. According to Radar Online, Kim called Beyoncé to try and smooth things over for her and Kanye's relationship with Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are known to keep their lives private, and when Kanye slammed them in public, she didn't take kindly to it. At number 6, Jay-Z had to publicly apologize for his infidelity. While it's unknown if Beyoncé made Jay-Z apologize, everyone knows that on his album 444, he publicly apologized and addressed his guilt. He admitted publicly that the rumors of his infidelity were true and opened up his private life to New York Times executive director Dean Baquet. In his interview, he said, "You have to survive. You go into survival mode, and when you go into survival mode, what happens?"
Ooh, I tell you, it's so much stuff. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot.